Welcome to Spotlight Chronicles.
Yeah.
Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Maria Callas.
Oh, Maria Callas.
A name that I'm sure you recognize.
Yeah.
Synonymous with opera and drama, and just an incredible voice that still has this lasting impact today.
Yeah, and there's all this buzz around this new biopic, Maria,
Right.
with Angelina Jolie, and it's sparking a lot of curiosity, and I think it's the perfect time for us to do a deep dive into who she was.
Yeah, consider this like your backstage pass into the life of Maria Callas.
Yeah.
And to kind of guide our journey today, we're looking at this BR-KLASSIK article.
It's a good one.
Yeah, going beyond just the headlines and really trying to figure out what made her such a legend.
Yeah, and I think what makes this so fascinating is the timing of this film.
Right.
We're really in a moment where we're re-examining the lives of these iconic women.
Yeah.
And looking beyond just, the surface level.
Absolutely. And to that point, I mean, talking about digging deeper.
Yeah.
You mentioned this film, Maria, and just the preparation that Angelina Jolie went through for this role.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds really intense.
These months of vocal training and not just hitting the notes.
Right.
But really trying to embody Callas's spirit.
Totally. And it's interesting because in the article, she mentions that before taking on the role, she didn't really have like a deep understanding of opera.
Right.
And now she's talking about how it connects with these human experiences.
Exactly. It's not just this elite art form.
Right. And it's amazing to me how decades after her death, her story can still shape perspectives.
It's amazing.
But back to Jolie for a second.
Okay.
There's this quote where she says, "It requires everything you have, like your whole body. You have to be emotionally present."
Wow.
And that to me really stood out because it's not just about singing.
Right.
It's about conveying this raw emotion through the music.
Totally. And that's at the heart of what made Callas so captivating. Opera is about vulnerability.
Right.
You're tapping into these human emotions and expressing them through your voice.
So you've got this intense emotional element to opera. And then you have Jolie, who's known for her dramatic roles.
Right.
Taking this on.
Yeah. What a recipe for powerful filmmaking.
Yeah. And the director?
Pablo Larraín.
Oh, he's great.
Known for films like Jackie and Spencer.
Oh, yeah.
Which are all about diving into these emotional landscapes of these women.
So it seems like we can expect something pretty intense.
Oh, yeah. Definitely character-driven.
Yeah.
And the article mentions that the film is set in Paris in 1977.
Okay.
The last week of Callas's life.
Wow.
She's withdrawn from public life at this point, but she starts giving these interviews to a young reporter played by Cody Smith-McPhee.
So those interviews spark like a journey of self-reflection.
Yeah, she has to kind of confront her past.
Yeah.
Her voice is fading, and yet she has this undying passion for music.
What a poignant setting for a film.
It is.
And there's another layer to this that I found really interesting. They use a blend of Jolie's voice and original recordings of Maria Callas.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine hearing those two voices?
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
And Jolie described it as becoming a third person on stage. So it's this merging of their artistic identities.
It's like bringing her back to life.
In a way.
So we have this powerful voice.
Right.
La Divina.
The divine one.
And yet the film wants to show us more than just the diva.
Exactly. And that's where the title Maria is so powerful.
Yeah.
It strips away the titles and focuses on the woman.
Yeah.
Maria,
Yeah.
her struggles, her triumphs, her humanity.
I love it's just stripping away the myth and seeing the person underneath.
Yeah.
And it seems like the film explores some pretty universal themes.
Right. Finding your voice, understanding your identity, confronting mortality.
Which are things that everyone grapples with.
Everyone.
Not just opera singers.
Exactly. Larraín himself said, it is a film about a woman trying to find her own voice and understand her identity.
It's the human story.
It is.
This search for meaning
and
connection and self-acceptance.
And it seems like in Callas's final days, those themes were amplified.
Okay, so we've kind of set the stage
Yeah.
with this upcoming film, and we're getting a sense of the woman behind the icon.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to delve a little bit deeper
Okay.
into her life, her career, and the things that made her such a force in the opera world.
Absolutely. There's so much more to uncover.
Yeah?
Her life was filled with drama on and off the stage.
Well, in that case, I am ready to dive in.
Let's go. One thing that really stood out to me in the article was how they emphasize her vocal prowess. Like, it wasn't just about hitting the high notes.
Right.
It was this raw emotion she conveyed.
Yeah, it seems like a recurring theme that she was channeling her own experiences.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just raw talent.
Yeah.
She worked at it. She had this strict practice regimen.
Oh, wow.
To understand the characters she was portraying.
It was more than singing. She was embodying these roles.
Exactly. And I think that's why she connected with audiences, because she brought this vulnerability to these larger-than-life characters.
Yeah, you think about opera.
Yeah.
It can be seen as so grand.
So dramatic, even.
But she brought this rawness.
Yeah.
That made it relatable to anyone.
Even if you weren't an opera fan.
Right? And speaking of breaking down those barriers,
okay,
there's something else in the article that mentions Jolie discovering a newfound appreciation.
Oh, yeah.
For opera.
She went from having limited knowledge to recognizing its power.
Wow, so she was transformed by it.
Yeah, and it's fascinating how even today she can spark that kind of transformation.
Decades later, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional depth.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the challenges she faced?
Oh, yeah.
Especially as a woman in opera back then.
Right. The article mentions the scrutiny she faced on her appearance, her personal life.
Just imagine being on that stage, constantly judged.
For everything.
Yeah, for how you look, who you love.
What you say.
It's a reminder that even with her talent, she wasn't immune to those pressures.
And those pressures probably took a toll.
Yeah.
The article says she withdrew from public life.
Right.
You know, it all became too overwhelming.
Makes you wonder what she could have accomplished.
Yeah.
Without those constraints.
But even with those challenges, her legacy remains undeniable.
Okay, so we've got this incredible talent.
Battling against societal pressures.
It sounds like her life was as dramatic as the opera's.
Oh, an understatement.
And that brings us to the biopic.
Maria.
Yeah, we talked about Jolie's preparation.
Yeah.
And now I'm really intrigued to see how she captures that complexity.
Yeah, the film seems to be about her internal world as much as her external achievements.
Yeah.
Those big questions about identity, mortality, and the search for one's true voice.
And it's all set during the last week of her life.
Exactly, in 1977 Paris.
Haunted by memories.
Yeah, struggling with her voice.
But then she starts these interviews.
With the young reporter.
And sparks this journey of self-discovery.
Right.
Forcing her to confront her past.
The article also mentions the film's use of sound, blending Jolie's voice with original recordings of Maria Callas.
Oh, wow. That's going to be amazing.
Weaving together these two voices.
Yeah, like her presence is in the film itself.
Yeah, and directed by Pablo Larraín.
Oh, it's great.
So, you know it'll be emotionally nuanced.
It sounds like more than just a biopic.
Yeah.
An exploration of the human spirit.
Exactly, and it asks us to consider how much an artist's personal life influences their art.
Can you even separate them?
Big questions.
But before we go too far into the movie,
okay,
I want to circle back to Callas herself.
Okay.
What made her such a captivating force?
What set her apart?
The article actually goes into some of the specifics of her technique and performance style.
Okay.
It talks about her incredible breath control.
Wow.
Like she can just hold these notes.
Right.
And then shift to these delicate phrases.
Yeah, and her acting skills, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she completely inhabited these roles.
Right. It wasn't just about hitting the notes.
Yeah, she brought the characters to life.
Which makes me think about
Yeah.
how Jolie was talking about preparing for the role.
Right.
And it was more than just learning the music. It was understanding Callas as a person.
Yeah, like her motivation and emotion.
So it seems like Callas had this deep understanding of the emotional core of each character.
Yeah, and she could convey that to the audience.
And it was captivating.
Totally captivating.
So we've got this incredible voice, this dramatic flair.
Yeah.
And this ability to just embody the roles.
Yeah, it's no wonder she was considered one of the greatest.
And her influence?
Oh, it went way beyond the stage.
Yeah.
She was a fashion icon constantly in the headlines. She helped to popularize opera.
To a wider audience.
Yeah. It's fascinating how her life was so intertwined with the drama of the characters.
And the article mentions her relationship with Aristotle and Onassis.
Right. That was a huge scandal.
Yeah. Can you imagine that pressure?
Oh, living your life like that.
With that scrutiny. So no wonder she withdrew.
Yeah.
But it makes you think about how much of that turmoil fueled her art.
Yeah. Was it inspiration?
Yeah.
Or was it destructive?
A question that's been debated.
For decades.
Yeah. But it's clear that her life and art were intertwined.
Completely.
And it seems like Maria is going to explore that.
Oh, yeah. It's not shying away from those difficult aspects.
Right.
Her struggles, her heartbreak, the pressures.
A film that'll stay with you.
I think so.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, what stands out to you the most?
You know, I think it's the way she defied categorization.
Yeah.
She was a diva, but also so human.
Yeah.
Vulnerable, flawed.
And she used her voice to express it all.
In this captivating and heartbreaking way.
Yeah, and it's inspiring to see how decades later, her story still resonates.
Absolutely.
She really makes us think about the nature of art.
The price of fame.
Yeah, the complexities of being human.
Yeah, I think anyone who watches this new film will walk away with a deeper understanding of Maria Callas, but also themselves.
Well said. I think that's a perfect way to end our deep dive.
Yeah.
It's been such a fascinating journey.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining me.